Tits on a Porsche.
That's the first one that's recorded. Great.
Excellent.
All right.
Riding on cars.
Hello there, and welcome to another exciting episode of Roll for Damage. We will, of course, be continuing our Laws of the... No, that's a different game.
The Lost?
We will be continuing our Vampire the Requiem Lost Nights session, our campaign. I was going to say the Laws of the Night, which is the Mind's Eye Theater live-action version of Vampire the Masquerade, which is besides the point. I was reading that book today. Who can
For ideas.
No, just I was dropping a deuce and it was there.
Yes. Toiletries.
So why not?
Yes. So anywho,
Why not Zoidberg?
Joining me, of course, I have Mr. Henry playing the lovely Lucia.
Hello.
I have Mr. Russell playing the equally lovely Charles.
Damn straight.
And then I have Dominic playing the somewhat endearing Trenton.
This may not be live action, but none of us are wearing pants. Hurrah!
Actually, that's true. I'm wearing shorts.
I'm wearing pajamas.
I knew it. I knew one of you would fess up.
It's true. It's all true.
You gods, it's all true.
Yeah, let's just go ahead and get right into it and start with the recaps. I'm going to start with Henry. Recap.
Recap time. I knew it was going to be me this time. Alright, so recap time. We stormed into the church all badass style because, of course, Trent drove a car into it and kind of forced our hands. Lucia tried to subtly kind of maneuver Sheriff Graves into trying to offer herself up as a host for the matriarch, but that didn't come to fruition. As soon as we stormed into the church, we immediately got divided into two groups, people who were going around the back door, giggity, and then the people who were going to charge front, which consisted of me, Trent, and Sheriff Graves. My group, of course, got stuck at a puzzle that required information from the very first game session, while the others were busy hunting down someone. That wasn't our prey, but hunting him down nevertheless. So we eventually solved the puzzle with, I guess, a little bit of storyteller fiat, and we go down and we see him. His name was Shit, first of all. But I can't remember. Started with an L. And all the L names I'm trying... Lucy,
LeBlanc?
I'm just gonna... Yeah, LeBlanc. Thank you. I was just about to call him something else entirely. LeBlanc, yeah. LeBlanc was busy talking with Father McGregor, and McGregor whipped him with a blood of whip, and then I taunted the fellow Order Dracul member. And then, as soon as everyone rushed, I snuck in and blasted him into the back as he was running away with a shotgun blast. And as he stumbled to the ground, I leaped on him Jackie Chan Tiger Claw style and tried to stake him. That didn't work, as he got pretty pissed, broke my wrist, and then staked my character instead. Everyone else got pretty fucked up after that, too. Because as soon as that happened... A Russian dude in the second group came in from behind us and just, lost because that guy was just like a brick house. We were all staked and we lost consciousness, and when we came to, Lucia was in a prison with a little girl named Molly, who is apparently some sort of giant magical living conduit of magic. I know, redundant, but I'm sticking with it. But that said, Lucia picked the collar on her lock and then began to try and find a way to get out. And that's essentially what happened. But she knows that Molly has friends coming for her, and already she's started to scheme and stuff, so she's told Molly to do a few things for her and not to trust any other vampire, not even really her, should it come down to it. And, yeah, so that is my recap. It was amazing.
All right. Russell? Or Charles?
Much of the same, as Henry has already said. Let's see, we started with Maddox smashing through the doors of the church in the Eastern European ghetto car. Wonderful. The group was split between Maddox, Cole, and the sheriff, and Charles and Red. Red, Scarlet, the communist, Parthian movement that won. They were talking about what did in the front, so around back, they snuck in through a back door. Red made some mentions about, yeah, Red made some mentions about,
Stay on target.
Some sort of foreshadowing about, the old coterie, perhaps how she knows, McGregor, or perhaps someone else who's left in the shadows. We punched through a lock, we wandered into the back, we encountered a very influential and important vampire from, the Giovanni's?
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And we were going to kill him, but then we found out who he was, and we tried to convince him to leave. And then the Russian came around the corner. I shot him in the face, and he was okay with that. And we ended up bestaked. And then we were unconscious for a little while. And we each ended up...
I'm just laughing because I just realized I shot him in the face and he was okay with that.
He was okay.
Yeah, he was like, I ain't even mad.
I ain't even mad, bro.
Come at me, bro.
So then we each split into a different... We each ended up in a different place. Henry talked about what happened to him while he was away. Well, Charles was away. He woke up in an interrogation room with LeBlanc, got offered a job, and a semi-dead McGregor said, this is the job application, eat the priest, and you become one of our organization. Charles said, cool with that. Ate the priest. They said, welcome to Seven. So Seven is the group, obviously. The rock band fellow... What's his name?
Devin.
What? Devin Masters came by, threw a drop of fresh blood at Charles' direction to get him up and said, hey, you gotta get out of here. Go screw up their plans for me, would you? So that I don't get caught. So they didn't say that. Charles said, okay. He turned around, woke up the sheriff, who was also in the room, if I'm remembering correctly. Woke the sheriff up, slapped her awake and said, go that way and rescue everyone else while I go do other stuff. And she did that. And then Charles wanted to be sneaky, wandered down a corridor, saw a bunch of hooded fellows falling down a corridor. Wonder Woman lassoed one and stole his uniform. Now he's silent snaking his way somewhere.
Oh, with the +2 dex leather belt.
Oh, yes. But the +2 is not dexterity. It involves the leather, but...
He's kinky.
All right.
Classiest.
Dominic.
Well, all right. It started with Trent
Let's get it started.
driving through the cathedral doors, and he realized no one was there in the main cathedral congregation area. So he did a little bit.
Wait, hold on. Let me take this moment to also remind you of your health level damages for everybody, and if you guys do have blood, now would be the time to use it, to heal up said injuries.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, don't we
go ahead.
I only took one lethal overall during that entire thing, and wouldn't that heal naturally?
No, lethal doesn't. No, remember, a vampire body doesn't heal naturally because it's dead.
Mm-hmm.
No, but they heal automatically,
No,
because of their undeadness, don't they?
No. You have to spend a blood point to heal up a point of lethal, or a blood point to heal up 2 points of bashing.
Okay.
You're thinking of werewolves that heal up automatically.
I thought vampires did it too because they were undead and essentially, yeah.
No, because, okay, a mortal by itself will naturally heal up the damage because they're alive, but a vampire body is dead, so as a result of that, they lose that natural healing.
Okay.
They have to actively, channel their blood to heal up their whatever. Anywho, go ahead.
Well, anyway...
I'm just pointing that out because I remember I told you got pretty fucked up with a car crash through.
Yes. Well, I got fucked up by a few things this time around. So, I got through, or Trent got through in the car, and stumbled out of the car, realized no one was in the congregation area, so I snooped around, found nothing.
Snooping as usual.
Quiet you. He found a little baptismal chamber with nothing interesting, and then he met up Lucia. He finally met up with Lucia by the altar, and Lucia was tinkering with the piano, because we realized that there was some kind of trap door or something that we're pushing on the wall, and Lucia came up with the idea of maybe the piano had some effect on opening or some trigger, and she realized that there was a connection. There was a song on the sheet music on the piano. It was Lord is my shepherd. It goes along the verses of, I can't remember the actual excerpt from the Bible, but LeBlanc had mentioned it in a conversation with Lucia, Trent, and LeBlanc together, and Trent knew the passage by verse. That was the very beginning of the campaign. He remembered the passage because he was a good church going lad back in his farm boy years, and apparently also could play a little bit of piano from those same that same experience. So Lucy had him play that little ditty on the piano, opened up the trap door.
What did he do?
Huh?
I said, what did he do?
He did. And then they did down the hallway and found LeBlanc and Father McGregor in a heated battle. And Father McGregor had actually utilized some Theban sorcery, I believe. Although
yes, it was.
Trent wouldn't know that, but
actually, Trent wouldn't know what it was.
Oh yeah, because he's technically a part of the Lankia Sanctum.
Yeah, he's a Lankia Sanctum. Like he doesn't know how to use said magic himself, but he's familiar with what it was.
Right, and so Father McGregor had the blood whip and lashed it around LeBlanc's neck, and Trent and Lucia were kind of just trying to see how it unfolded. LeBlanc eventually ripped the whip away, and then Lucia proceeded to attack LeBlanc, got manhandled, then used his protean, busted some claws out, and leapt onto LeBlanc, and then he got owned himself. And then that was when the big Russian came along and took Trent by the neck, slammed him repeatedly into the wall, which now Trent has like some aggravated damage as well. But and Trent
he didn't get aggravated damage from being slammed to the wall. He got lethal.
Not then, but I got aggravated damage somehow because I have one dot aggravated or one.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know how that happened. I can't remember. I think it might have been from something LeBlanc did to him right before that.
No, it was from when he got coated in fire when Charles thought it was a good idea.
Oh, yeah.
Shot of dragon's breath.
Yeah.
Guilty!
So then, anyways, Trent eventually woke up in a cell, chained to the wall above a strange sarcophagus. And Trent was bleeding out with this evil woman named Lydia, bleeding him over the sarcophagus with his blood, which is this sort of demonic blood or fire and brimstone kind of blood, apparently, that's in Trent, pouring into the sarcophagus. Lydia was eventually distracted by her own desires and to play some games with Trent, and Trent started playing along because he saw that somebody was sneaking into the cell, and it happened to be a man by the name of Alexander Bishop, who's seems very magical because he just drew a door basically somewhere and came into the cell, it seems. But Alexander Bishop made Lydia fall asleep just while Trent distracted her, and then unlocked Trent. Trent came down, locked Lydia up onto the shackles, and Trent and Bishop headed out through the magical doorway. The magical mystery tour is coming to take you away.
Yeah, okay. Alright. After several moments of frustration and trying, the door finally gives way. A slow and soft resounding ka-dunk. It seems the tumbler and the locking mechanism that's inside gives way, and the door releases, just slightly. Not opening all the way, but just enough to let Lucia know that the door has opened.
The door has opened.
That's your cue.
No. Yeah, I'm thinking, actually. Didn't I go out to explore for a moment?
No. What had happened is you had picked a lock, or you asked her if she had anything to pick a lock with. She says, "I have a bobby pin." You said, "Thanks." And then you set to work, and then you told her, "You don't trust anybody who comes in this room that's like me, etc., etc." Blah 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 blah. And then you started picking a lock.
All right, and now it's just now unlocked.
Yes.
All right, I thought we already gotten past that. All right, never mind. So yeah, I hear it unlock, thunk, open, and I very carefully open it up to make sure that those weird undead werewolf guard things are nowhere around, and I quickly head in the opposite direction that they went.
Okay. Go ahead and make a wits plus composure roll.
Wits plus composure. Oh goody.
Spot check.
Roll the dice, get one success. I got one success if you didn't understand.
Ah, okay. I didn't know. Okay. You go and you look to your left, you look to your right, it doesn't look as though they're around at the moment, so you take off directly towards the left. You really have no idea which direction you're going, things have been twisted around so much, you really don't know if you're heading north, south, east, or west. All you know is that they headed that direction, you're heading the opposite direction.
Yeah, I'm essentially, what's on her mind right now is she's not necessarily looking for, a place where there are people. She's more kind of looking for, maybe a storage room or a supply room.
Okay.
I don't know, a broom closet.
Brooms!
Okay. Judging by the decrepit nature of this holding cell, if you could call it that, there doesn't seem to be anything like that, at least in this general area. These seem to be just a number of cells. And actually, as you do pass some of the cells, you do hear a strange sort of shackling, behind them.
A shackling?
Mm-hmm.
Like the rattling of shackles?
Mm-hmm. That is what shackling means.
Alright. Well, I should have a good 30 minutes in game time before the next patrol arrives. So, I'm still going to be walking forward, but I'm going to, try and do my best to look behind me without, giving it away that I'm looking behind me.
Okay.
I'm turning my head to look at my sides, but I'm trying to use my peripheral vision to, spot the knot.
Okay. You go and you peer in, and you see the presence of a woman. She's suspended above a large pit, and it seems as though there seems to be this sarcophagus underneath her. The sarcophagus itself seems to be trembling a bit, almost ready to release whatever's inside. While the woman herself, flails and thrashes against her bindings, obviously surprised and taken off guard by all this.
Alright, what does she look like?
You're safe to assume you know what she looks like.
Okay, so this is who I think it is? I mean, she doesn't know who it is, but
But Henry knows who it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
It's a vampire she doesn't know, and that coffin looks very unfriendly, and she has no means to defend herself. So, she's gonna try and play the self-preservation and just move on.
Okay, that's fine.
if that thing is like a Jack in the Box with like a hungry demon inside, or she really has no idea. She's curious about it for sure. I mean, it's kind of in her nature to want to explore what that is. But right now, there's angry werewolf undead demon guards patrolling, and she has no weapons, and she has no idea where she is, and the only person that she can trust is Molly.
Okay.
Ooh.
You go and you continue a bit on your way, but a few yards down the corridor, you hear footsteps coming. These footsteps don't sound like the footsteps of the guards. They sound more forceful, more determined, as of someone running in this direction.
Is there anything I could quickly hide? Well, yeah, I could jump to the side and obfuscate myself.
Okay.
Kind of like jump in the shadows and then obfuscate for a little bonus.
Go ahead and make your roll.
Okay. Obfuscate. And that is going to be a stealth dex plus obfuscate?
That is correct, good sir.
Alright. And since I'm hiding, I get a bonus.
Yes, you get a +1 bonus.
Yay, I'm rolling 8 dice. I think that's the highest amount I've ever rolled without willpower. Two successes.
Lucia goes and she jumps off into the corner. She quickly moves to hide herself. After a couple of moments, the running gets louder and louder and louder, and a woman passes you by. Lucia tries to keep her eyes averted for the time being as she passes by, but her peripheral vision catches her, and she recognizes who it is. It looks like it's Miss Jillian Graves.
Watch her.
Oh, interesting. I can either continue on my quest to go find a weapon or something, anything really, or I can follow Graves as silently as possible and see if that doesn't lead to anything beneficial, which is exactly what she's going to do, because if she can remain hidden with Obfuscate, then maybe Jillian could take the heat off of anything that they run into.
Okay, but just so you know, since you are using level 3 of Obfuscate, what that means clearly is that you cannot run and keep pace with Jillian.
Oh, no, I know. She's going to follow with her, but, I know the general direction that she's going in, so she's going to keep Obfuscate up.
Okay.
But, she can't run, but obviously she can move quickly.
Mm-hmm. All right, fair enough. So you take off in that general direction.
Back where I came from, apparently.
Zipping over. Woo. Charles finishes dressing himself in the newly obtained garments. They fit a little bigger than he would usually like, and in all honesty, Charles might feel like a bit of a kid inside of them, due to the fact that they are a bit long on him. But he's easily charismatic and just good enough to pull off the look. I mean, after all, undead cult, how hard is it to pull off?
Exactly. So you stumble a little, you
Alright.
knock your face.
Okay, so what is Mr. Charles' course of action after having obtained said robe?
I'm going to head out the way and follow where the rest of these cloaked fellows were. See where this leads, and if it's leading where I think it does, as all general cults seem to.
Okay. So you go ahead and you fall back in line, as it were, and you see that they're walking down a narrow passageway that seems to go into a more subterranean area. You can see stalagmites and stalactites off in the distance, but more importantly, you hear something that startles you a bit. Seems like the roar of a fire.
Are there torches?
Oh yeah, there are torches along the wall, but that's not the roar you hear.
Okay.
The narrow passageway slowly opens into a much larger area. You can tell that there's at least 40, maybe 50 of these hooded individuals all gathered here. And across the distance, you can see a very large pit that's kind of separated from the main area, and fire kind of dances up all around it. There seems to be a very large symbol painted in the background, which I believe you can try to roll to identify, should you wish to.
I would love to. What would that roll be?
That is going to be just intelligence plus occult.
Okay. One success.
You can tell that it is an ancient symbol, one of some vampire significance. Usually used in some form of ritual, a great awakening of elders or even ancients to that extent, but you can't quite able to pinpoint what it is exactly.
Bad juju, though.
Yeah, but you get the gist of what it represents, what it's here for.
Right.
Off in the distance, though, across the pit, that you see that there's three sort of bridges, if you will, makeshift bridges that have been used to make the gap. One, to the left, another to the right, and one directly in the center. Directly across from this pit, you see none other than the Lady in Red herself, standing there in all her regalness, and talking to a gentleman you happened to meet earlier, Mr. Giovanni.
The other cloak fellows, they're still mulling about the area, going and doing things?
I'm sorry?
These other cloak fellows, are they still mulling about the area, doing random things, or are they standing at the edges of the room or something?
Once they've pretty much gathered together, they have their own groups right now, but basically it's social time right now, quote unquote, before the rituals begin.
Okay, I want to try to maneuver myself so that I can get close enough to hear the Lady in Red or the Giovanni if they speak or if they're speaking right now.
Oh yeah, they're speaking right now. They're conversing back and forth freely.
I want to get close enough to hear.
Go ahead and give me a Wits plus Composure roll, but this is not for listening in, not yet.
This is for being damn fine. 2 successes.
As you wander through the crowd, in about the 4th row, you see one of the hooded figures looks up, and he turns towards your direction. And it seems as though he has his eyes on you as you wander about. You continue on, though. Just one noticing you, that's not too out of place. Directly in front of you, however, you notice a very large, imposing figure, that of Mr. Oswald himself. He's sure to notice if you continue directly ahead.
Oh, well, I'm going to lower the hood further and try to...
Okay, so you're going to head to the left or to the right?
Which looks more crowded?
I'm sorry?
Which side looks more crowded?
Well, they're both about the same right now, at the moment.
Left.
Okay. You go and you head towards the left. And in the process, you pass a woman, African-American woman. Her hair seems to be in long braids and curled out a bit. And her eyes are actually a deep orange at the moment as she looks up at you. She says nothing, though, but keeps her eye on you.
I pull my hood even further down. Who keeps looking at me?
Alright, then.
Oh, shit, I need Auspex. God damn it. I'm probably missing an Auspex symbol or something.
You managed to get close enough, without obviously making it look like you're eavesdropping.
Alright.
And now you can go ahead and give me the actual perception roll. I guess the other one was like more of a passive perception.
Eavesdrop. Yeah, they're gonna detect me, because I don't have, like, a doom aura around me or some shit. 2 successes.
You're able to listen quite easily without it being obvious that you're listening. You hear her speak up. Oh, yes, thank you for coming on such short notice, Giovanni. Anything for an old friend? Yes, we've just had a bit of problem with coordination here, and I know this usually isn't your party, but, well, we can have fun all the same, can't we? I suppose so. I'm still a little confused, though, Miss Valentine. What is it that you need me to do? When I spoke to your associate LeBlanc on the communications device, he explained to me something of the soul-capturing variety. Well, yes, it's quite simple. You see, we have a certain guest here, and once she is brought to us, we're going to use her to help bring another lost soul to us as well. And once this lost soul is brought to us, well then, let's just say we can wake up an old friend, a very old friend I haven't seen in so long. He nods a bit. He goes, well, yes, the eternal slumber can do that at times. Sometimes the more elder of our species do need a boost to wake up. Oh, indeed they do. Indeed they do. She says with a smile. She turns a bit and she's like, oh, there he is. Devin! She goes and she calls out. A man actually right next to Charles passes him by. Has he noticed Charles or not? Unknown to Charles as of yet. Devin steps forward, he crosses the chasm, and something is whispered very lowly to him that is not able to be heard by Charles at this moment. And then we zoom back to Trenton.
Yes. One question.
Yes.
Do I still have my cowboy hat?
No, you don't.
Oh! -3 on all resolve checks.
Really?
Find it quickly.
No.
I was gonna say.
Don't penalize him like that.
Well, he's the one who's penalizing himself. I was gonna be fine with it though.
No, that's strong. I'll take something, but not like that. Reel it back a little bit.
It's on an altar somewhere.
Yes, the conduit itself.
They put it on the mummy in the sarcophagus.
Yes. Ultimate power.
It's over 9,000.
Okay, anywho.
Yes.
So Trent, can I see Mr. Bishop? And are we in like some astral space, or like, is it just like in through that doorway?
Okay. Basically, what happened is you stepped through the door along with him, and suddenly you're in a completely different room at a completely different location at all. Period. But it looks like you're in something of a morgue, a more modern morgue, not a like medieval morgue, a modern morgue. But all around the walls are decorated a number of mystic ruins that you are far beyond your capacity to grasp.
Well, Trent tips his hat at Mr. Bishop.
What hat?
Thank you kindly, sir. I was in a tight spot.
What? Oh yes. Look. Like I said, we need to get back there, but that's clearly the wrong room. I don't know why my spatial disruptions led me there. It's a big mess. Look. Girl.
Where the hell are we now?
Named Molly. We're in my sanctum, a sanctum, not my sanctum. We're somewhere safe for now, at least.
All right. So Molly? Molly who?
Molly, her name is Molly Wyatt. She's a young girl, about maybe 8-9 years of age, no older than that, but she is special, and we kind of need her for what's going on. Or rather, she needs us for what's going on.
What's going on exactly?
He goes and he runs his fingers through his hair, a little agitated. I'd really love to sit and chat with you sometime, but look, I'm on a tight schedule. He goes and he pulls up his sleeve, and you can see that he has about 5 different watches on. He looks back down. He's like, look, time is of the essence, and essence is not time. Essence is something different. Look. He sighs agitatedly. Where were you exactly? I need to know your exact location that I popped out at.
All right, I can't be certain of this, but I think I was in the basement of St. Judas Cathedral.
St. Judas Cathedral, yes, okay. He goes and he rushes over and he goes to his shelf and he starts pulling off a bunch of books. He says, yes, I do have a channel location there, yes. All right. What do you remember about the cathedral before you had that fun time?
Well, I don't know. It's your average kind of a cathedral. I mean, it's a big spot.
No.
It's a spot where
I mean, what do you remember? What happened? Give me as close as you can, sympathetically, to that location.
Well, it was, I came into the building in a car. I drove through the front doors. And then, we found a organ and played a song, and it opened up a trap door that led us down below the building. And, from there, we saw Mr. LeBlanc and Father Gregoire battling it out, and we tried to stop LeBlanc. Do you know who LeBlanc is?
Haven't the foggiest.
He's the one we're trying to stop.
Right, I'm sure whatever he's doing is small fry as compared to what we're dealing with.
How
don't
little
know.
does he know?
I don't know. He's doing some pretty creepy stuff with some werewolves.
Well, don't tell him I said that. Look. Okay. How can I put this in simple terms that you might understand? That little girl that they took is powerful. Imagine all the power and essence of the sun itself trapped into a body, right? The glory and the might of the unconquered sun, as it were.
Ugh.
Okay. Whatever you and your kind are trying to do is going to unleash that power, unbridled, unrivaled, unkept, unclaimed.
You see, it's just some of our kind. It's not all of us. We're trying to stop these, just a few.
Yes,
that are causing all this trouble.
That's all well and good. Yes, you go and do that. You tend to your own, your brother's keeper, so forth, so forth. Look, what I need is the girl, because if she is to have her energy released in such a way, it total protonic reversal.
Hey, I enjoy the night just as much as any other kindred, so I'm not trying to get the sun unleashed.
No.
On our little town.
You are not listening, sir. Try to imagine all life as you know it suddenly stopping, reversing, going back to a singularity within maybe a 50-mile-kilometer radius.
Oh boy. Alright, well, you think she's in the cathedral, in the basement?
Like I said, that is where my last sympathetic connection led me, so I'm gonna need you to take me there.
Alright.
Okay, all I'm gonna need is a bit of you.
How much of me is a bit?
Bishop goes and he looks around and he goes and he pulls down a coffee cup. He goes and he dumps it out. Right there, bleed out.
Oh, all right. Trent bites his wrist and pumps it out.
All right. He only needs a blood point from you, out of character.
Okay, 1 blood point. Trent also realizes that
he's hungry.
His hat's gone, and that he had just tipped his hat by he just did the motion by half, and he's like, damn it, where the hell's my hat?
Okay. Once you've sufficiently bled out the necessary amount, Bishop goes, all right, that's enough. I don't need a gallon. Says as he takes the cup out, he dips his finger in it, and he draws along the wall. He reaches into his pocket and he pulls out that bronze doorknob you saw earlier, sets it along the door, turns it, and pulls out As it pulls out, you see that it suddenly leads into a chamber. It looks as though the chamber that collapsed earlier, just before, Oswald had you all taken out. In fact, you can even see the indentation in your face of where you had landed earlier. Is that it? Is that right? Is that the place you remember?
Yeah.
Okay, then look, we haven't much time. I can keep this portal open for... Let me see. Maybe 30 minutes. I need to get in, I need to get Molly, and I need to get back. I can get back on my own, but I cannot take her with me unless it's through this portal.
Alright, so we got a short amount of time to do the impossible. Let's do it.
And the pair of you step through the door. Bishop reaches behind you. He closes the door, takes off the doorknob, and pockets it back. Let's run. He goes and he takes off down the corridor. And then after a few paces, he stops. Maybe you should go first, because I don't know where I'm going.
We'll try to keep up.
He goes and he runs after you. Anywho, going back to Lucia. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I got fleet of foot. He's never going to keep up with me.
Okay, zooming over back to Lucia.
Hello.
Go ahead and give me a dexterity plus stealth check.
Plus obfuscate?
No, just dexterity plus stealth, because basically you're still trying to shadow Julian without giving off your location.
Alright, do I add my hiding bonus?
No, because this isn't hiding, it's shadowing. Shadowing's different.
Okay. Sounds like hiding. 2 successes.
You're able to keep up with her despite her quick pace. She goes through a number of the doors. She opens the door and she looks in. She's like, no, that's not it. She goes to another door. She opens it, reaches in. No, that's not it. Where are they? Charles said they'd be over here. Charles, no, he didn't betray me, did he? She stopped for a minute, almost pausing. And just then, suddenly, from off in the distance, you hear...
That is when I whisper very, very softly, hide.
As you go and you whisper that, Jillian kind of goes and looks up. She looks around and she sees the large hulking beast off in the distance. It seems just as big and just as burly as a lupine in its full war form, but it is significantly slower. Jillian is able to run quite a bit. She takes off and she rounds the corner. As she rounds the corner, the creature goes and dashes after her, and then they both disappear around the corner. You hear the creature roar once more, and then Jillian comes back around the corner. She looks back around and she's like, Lucia, was that you?
Find some place to hide now.
No, it's fine. It's fine. They're not that smart. They're kind of stupid.
Do you have a weapon on you?
Just my revolver.
That won't do us any good. We've got to hurry or get... do you know how long it's been since we were staked?
No idea. Charles is the one who sent me down here.
Charles is here?
Yeah, Charles was restrained in the same room that I was.
Alright, that means we can't be that far from where we were taken. I'd assume that we've only been out of it for at least an hour or two.
Alright, so where do we go now? What's our course of action?
My course of action is to find Valentine and put an end to all of this.
Valentine?
But,
are you sure?
she's here. She's here somewhere.
Okay, well, let's do what we can.
Yeah, I've only able to find gel cells back here, so I've got to be back in my cell in less than 15 minutes if I'm supposed to keep up the illusion that I'm bound.
What illusion? What's going on? Why do you need to go back to your cell? She asked a little frantically. I'm confused.
I don't understand it either, but something really, really big is going on. I've got to stay close to their only chip, as it were. Their car. The analogy that means that they have something very important that they need to hold on to. I know exactly where it is, but I'm supposed to be right beside it. If I'm not there, then that's going to alert them to the fact that I'm not there, and that'll just make things a whole lot worse.
I see. All right. Well, where's your cell? We can at least hide in there, can't we?
If they spot you, then they'll know something is up. I'm going to return to my cell and keep an eye out on their package. But if you can find a stake or a weapon or anything for me to use, please bring it to me.
She opens her jacket and she pulls out a stake. She hands it to Lucia. Remember, we came packing.
She hands it to like empty air, but it disappears.
No, actually, the moment you'd grab for it, it would break your obfuscation.
Oh, all right. Well, then never mind. Yeah, I grabbed it.
Yeah, but basically all she did was she held it out for the general direction where the voice was coming from.
All right.
Hit you in the nose.
Stakes you on accident.
There you go.
Oh.
She stakes you, and she would never know because you were invisible. Anywho.
Lucia takes the stake. All right. This will be good for right now, but I know Valentine is somewhere in here, and they're either going to have to bring their package to her, or she's going to have to come to it. But this will do me right now. So if you can, I guess, try and get a layout of the facility, maybe an exit. If you see any real humans, like not just, well, magic humans, I guess is the term. I didn't quite understand what she was saying, but they're going to be really strong and really powerful. Don't attack them. In fact, bring them to me.
All right, well, I'll see what I can do. I'll go and I'll do Recon, and I'll try to see if I can find Trenton.
If you can find Trenton, the better. I think he's the only one out of us three that we can trust.
All right, then. The pair of you go and you part ways, as you will. And we zoom over to Charles.
Real quick, I actually do head back to my cell to put the fake collar back on.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna say you can do that without any necessary struggle. The creature went in the opposite direction.
Yeah, like just trying to make sure, like, if it comes back and it looks in the cell, I should still be there.
Okay. All right, then. Going back to Mr. Charles. Charles, discovers some things, as he does, and something is said as is contrary to his hopes of listening in.
Just because it was Devin Masters and just because it was being whispered so quietly, I'm going to try to sink as best I can into one of the larger crowds of hooded fellows.
Okay.
Perhaps using Majesty to pull a bunch of people around me so that I'm in the center of a larger group of these folk. Not trying to get them directly to look at me, but just having them wanting to talk in that general area. So there's a bigger, like zebra-style smoke screen.
Okay. Yeah, okay, go ahead. And I think that's a simple roll. It's presence plus socialize plus Majesty.
Doesn't he need to draw attention to himself in order to use Majesty, though?
Maybe I'm just striking a really cool pose.
You can say, "Look at me! I like having eyes."
Just lift the front of your cloak.
Hey, show some leg.
I'm wearing fishnets. What was that roll?
Presence plus socialize plus your magic.
Presence plus socialize. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a fair roll.
This is sufficient.
'Tis enough, sire. 2 successes.
Oh, yeah.
You manage to activate your discipline, gathering those around you. They just seem to be they want to be near you. Not necessarily because they are interested in what you have to say directly. They just think, hey, this guy ain't so bad. He's not bad to look at.
Everyone can see my face. I pull the hood completely over my face.
And he will be Tee-hee Tummy Tum, the most beautiful man in all of Stormlong.
I laugh at your misery.
Anywho, what else is Charles's course of action at this moment, aside from masking himself as he has?
Eyes at the ready. I want to note any other exits besides the one I came in from.
No, it seems as though it's the one that you went from, and then there's that spiral staircase, as I said, and it leads up a level.
How tall is the ceiling?
I'm sorry?
How tall is the ceiling? Is this like a cavern?
Yes.
So it's a large thing.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And there are torches on the wall.
Yes, there are.
And there is a pit of fire.
Yes, there is.
Eek, frenzy check.
It's far enough away. There's handrails.
No, there's no handrails, but it's far enough away.
God damn it, this is against union regulations.
Union regulations, comrade, do not exist here. You hear about...
In Russia, rails hand you.
Anywho.
Are any of the hooded mooks wandering up the staircase?
You call them mooks.
What else would I call them?
A few of them are coming back and forth, as you will. But you do spot Devin. He goes and he crosses the bridge and he comes back across the pit. And he points out in your direction, but not directly towards you. And he says, "You two, with me."
Does anyone go? I quickly step forward.
Okay. You step forward along with somebody else. He goes, "They want her, so we're going to bring her."
Nod.
And then the trio of you take off and they start going towards, going down the spiral staircase back towards where your initial holding facility was.
Right. I hope this is the right her. I hope this is the right her.
All right. While that's going on, switching over to Trenton. The pair of you go and you arrive from your larger passageway into a much smaller, much narrower one. It seems as though this location is more archaic, more natural made, although there have been modifications to it to make it, I guess, habitable by your type. But Trenton himself is able to recognize right away he is back where he was, more or less, where his holding cell was.
Oh. Get one thing before we begin here. Can he spend blood points to heal up those wounds?
Yes, he can.
And how much would he heal by spending 3 vitae?
It depends. How damaged are you?
Well, he has 1 ag, 3 lethal, and 5 bashing.
Okay, 1 point of blood can heal up 2 bashing.
Okay, he'll spend that.
And 1 point of 1 point of blood will also heal up 1 lethal.
So he'll spend 2 points of blood to heal up 4 bashing, and 1 to heal up the lethal. Can he heal lethal while he still has bashing?
Yes, you can.
Okay. So he spent 3 then. Now he's down to 1 ag, 2 lethal, 1 bashing.
Alright.
Not anymore.
So, okay, he's gonna look around. Does he see his cell with Lydia in it, in the sarcophagus?
Yes, it's actually in the corner of the room. You see it clear as day. But we will have to take a short little break.
Do, 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 do.